Good morning, everybody. I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and it is a disgusting Monday morning here in South Texas. My chickens are angry with me because I've left them locked up. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm a couple hours late coming out here. But I wanted to show you really quick what I do in my morning routine now that my hens are grown. Our coop, of course, is established. We have everything going, and so now we're literally in a good routine. So I wanted to show you, this is what chicken chores look like just in the morning, just the day-to-day stuff. Now, I do have a full article on realsimplemama.com as well as a longer video on YouTube that's chicken chores, and it'll show you the stuff that you have to do like once a week, the stuff you need to check on every once in a while. So this is just what I do normally when I come out in the morning. So I'm going to do a lot more explaining, of course, than what I normally do. Normally, all of these chores take less than 5 minutes. So normally, your birds aren't really going to come out before it's light. So this time of year, about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, they're up on this outdoor roost here. There's one here, and they start doing their little egg songs and being loud and annoying. If you haven't seen my other videos, this is the Innovation Pet chicken coop. It came as a kit. It's about $200 from Tractor Supply. I have lots of videos about this coop if you're interested in that. This here again was to just block the wind and block the cold. So the first thing I'm going to do with my little raptors, hey girls, is let them out. Come on, girls. And they go, oh thank God. Good morning. Now, my girls have, you'll see my feeder and my waterer here in just a second if you haven't seen it already. But they love drinking fresh rainwater. We got just a little bit of rain in the night, just enough to make everything wet. And so now they're going to run around and go find that. There goes Dottie. Normally, when I let them out in the morning, they make a beeline for over there. Oh, there goes Calypso. If you've never seen a chicken running, it's like the funniest thing ever. All right, so I've let them out. Then this is my routine. We have our automatic waterer here, our automatic feeder here. I have a chicken coop hacks video if you'd like to get more details about how we built this, but we did it ourselves. It's really easy. The only thing we had to do in regards to the coop itself was cut a hole here and cut a hole here in the hardware cloth. Because obviously it starts here on the outside and it goes inside the coop so that the birds have access. So I'm checking water level is fine. The food is fine, I think. Oh, food's pretty low. Okay, so I need to fill up the food. So I'll do that in a minute. I have my storage bin right here. So I will fill that up adequately. I'm going to open, unless it's inclement weather, like it looks like it's really going to rain, I open. This coop is great because it has a lot of different ways to access inside and clean and just ventilate. So I'm going to open this door. I'm going to open this door. And then I just need to check and make sure that everything's clean. This is a predator-proof lock. I know some people like to upgrade. They buy a coop kit just for convenience, but then they upgrade a lot of stuff. I have never felt the need to upgrade any of the locks that are on this kit, but that's just me. Okay, last night it was cold, and my birds like to sleep in the nesting boxes. So as you can see, I've got poop I need to scrape out. Everybody has already laid this morning. This is Dottie's egg. I can just tell. And this is Calypso, my big black hen. And these are cool, so they laid them either really early this morning or late last night. And then this is Lollipop. So I'm not going to make you watch me scrape out this poop right now. I just keep a crappy, it's like a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket. These are, they're called small trash bags, just like they would use for like a little trash can that's in like under your desk or whatever. And then I have just a cat litter scoop because I'm cheap and I like to save bedding. So you don't have to watch me do all of this, but I just do that. Plop it in there. Sometimes I grab the chicken poop and I go put it in our composter. You can even just make, I have dogs, so I don't want my dogs trying to eat the chicken poop, but you can even just make a pile somewhere and it'll compost just out on its own. The other thing I need to check, and I know people are always asking, so let me make sure I enunciate. So I got to open up in here. This door opens. You can see one of our dummy eggs was kicked out in a fit of rage in the night, apparently. But this is P as in Paul, D as in David, Z as in zebra. And it's basically like, let me get my scoop and you can see it. It's like cat litter. It's like very fine cat litter. It's like a gray sand. It's normally found in the equine or the horse section at your feed store. At least a 15-pound bag is like $10 or $15. I've had chickens for a year, and I'm on my second bag that I've ever had to buy. But it is, it's clumping, so it clumps to the chicken poop. And then, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a good angle here. And then it's ammonia control, it's odor control. It's safe for your birds. Like if you see them pecking at it every once in a while because they're stupid, then it's fine. So in the morning, that's normally all I have to do. I come out and I clean poop. I make sure food and water is good to go. And then, of course, I open up the vents to let it air out a little bit. Again, if it feels like it's going to rain, I'll only open one of the windows or maybe neither. And then, of course, I'm going to close and lock these doors back up. A couple of other things really quick. Normally, from what I understand, and of course, these are the first birds I've ever had. So I'm just barely one step ahead of all of you guys. Chickens normally don't want to lay until they've had a little bit of sunshine, until they've been awake for a little bit. Of course, it's now it's almost 10 a.m. here, and they've normally been out for a few hours. So the fact that I already had some eggs, that was kind of on me. So normally they'll lay in the morning, and of course your girls will come in and take turns. At least mine will, because they only ever lay in here because they're weird. The other thing I was going to say is, somebody who knows way more than me on the San Antonio chicken forums, they were talking about how they don't feed their chickens anything except their normal crumble or their pellet, just the chicken food, for the first few hours in the morning. Those people who have had chickens and they breed chickens and they've had them for years said that it makes your hens lay better if you don't give them any kind of treats or snacks or mealworms or seeds or leftovers or whatever. So my girls normally don't get a snack until the afternoon. And we've come out with, like, takeout boxes that have leftover rice in them. They're getting leftover watermelon today. But that I can't say that I've really experimented with that a whole bunch, but I'll tell you that from what I understand, it's better to leave the chicken treats until the afternoon. Usually they do get something almost every day, probably 5 days a week. They get, and I always throw it over here and let them kind of forage and dig around. They have mealworms, they have the sunflower seeds. They get their leftovers in a tray right there. So as you can see, I have some watermelon rinds that I need to clean up because my birds made a mess. The other thing is, real quick, I'll show you and then I promise I'm done. Over here, you see how it looks like there's gravel here. There are two things that I just mix in the ground. The first is grit, and I've done a video about what grit is and why you need it. I didn't give it to my girls for a while because they have all of this space to go out and find pebbles and everything, but I went ahead and bought a bag and I just leave a handful on the ground. The other thing is they're crushed up eggshells. It's literally the shells from my birds. And when I cook eggs, I leave them. You can leave them out to dry, or you can bake them in the oven until they're completely dried out and dehydrated, as it were. And then crumple it up and give it back to your birds, and they can come in. I mean, you're basically recycling calcium. So that's what this is around here. I did used to have it in, and I don't have the little tray out. It was basically like one of the little pot guards that goes under a pot, and it was smaller, but of course your birds, they step on it and it flips over, so it was always ending up over here anyway, and the girls can see it, so now I just dump it on the ground. So as you can see with my chores now, I need to go and finish cleaning out poop, and I need to go and fill up their food. But that's a quick look. My chores in the morning normally take 5 minutes or less. And now Dottie is going, what is the deal over there? So I'm going to go finish my chores. I hope it's been helpful. If you have questions, comments, you need clarification because I'm not very intelligent, then put comments for this video. I promise to get back to you quickly. I appreciate you watching. This is Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and we'll be back soon.